The 8 Tenets of Christmasism, The Snowglobian's Guide to Daily Living in the Spirit of Christmas, by Kathryn Sterbenc. The 8 Tenets of Christmasism. First tenet: generosity, sharing, inclusion, create safety, encourage trust. Second tenet: contemplation, self-exploration, self-renewal while the winter world sleeps. Third tenet: gather with loved ones, reconnect with beloved people who give life meaning. Fourth tenet: forgiveness, laying down of arms, acceptance, redemption. Fifth tenet: customs and traditions, music and stories, special food and drink, Christmas aromas and textures, twinkle, glisten, sparkle, and decoration. Sixth tenet: gifts to self, self-care, celebrate yourself, create a nice moment for yourself at least once a day. Seventh tenet: wish joy for all living creatures, find joy in loving and celebrating others, practice unconditional positive regard. Eighth tenet: compassion, kindness. Snowglobia and the Tenets of Christmasism. It all started in the winter of 2014. I already knew I loved Christmas, specifically the spirit of Christmas. I noticed that humans were kinder, more generous, more forgiving. We made a priority of such things as gathering with loved ones, the joy of twinkling lights, giving gifts, beloved traditions. We took time to contemplate the year that was ending and the one about to begin, and our places in it. And then, by the time the first week of January ended, we took it all down, put it all away, and resumed a seemingly less joyful, less generous, less forgiving, less contemplative existence. Every year I asked, why are we stopping? In December 2014, I decided to stop stopping and strive to live in the spirit of Christmas year-round. That required me to define the spirit of Christmas. What exactly is it about Christmas that compels humans to not only exhibit the highest of human behavior, but to temporarily halt the cruelest and ugliest aspects of human nature? To hit pause on atrocities such as slavery and war? As I studied Christmas and Christmas-like traditions, stories, and music across many cultures, I surveyed those around me to share their personal concepts of the spirit of Christmas. After hearing a conversation about finding a religion of one's own, I realized that the spirit of Christmas is my own spiritual belief system. So I named it Christmasism and began spreading the word. And lo, the glory of Snowglobia came upon us, and behold, the tenets of Christmasism brought us good tidings of great joy. L. Van Pelt, 1965. The virtual nation of Snowglobia was established January 10th, 2015 as a year-round haven for followers of the 8 Tenets of Christmasism. We welcome all who embrace the Christmas spirit year-round. I feel eternal gratitude to everyone who shares my journey to live as a practicing Christmasist, applying the tenets to daily life. I invite you to choose a tenet to practice today and enjoy the gifts that result. Huzzah to the tenets! Huzzah to the globe! Kathryn Sterbenc, Chief Comfort and Joy Officer, Virtual Nation of Snowglobia, April 19, 2020. The Christmas Tree. You may notice that the Christmas tree is at the top of the inspiration list for every tenet. I consider the Christmas tree the unofficial symbol of Snowglobia and Christmasism for all the reasons listed in this book. The Christmas tree is also a symbol of our respect for trees and the natural world, which is why we allow only artificial Christmas trees at Snowglobia World Headquarters, and encourage others to either bring artificial trees indoors or carefully decorate living trees outside without doing them harm. When you can, consider showing Christmas trees compassion and kindness by taking only branches indoors for your beloved traditions and allowing the trees to live. First tenet: generosity, sharing, inclusion, create safety, encourage trust. First tenet inspirations: gathering around a Christmas tree and sharing gifts. Watching for people who look like they could use some financial relief and paying for something. An orange for Frankie. Sharing what you have with those who have less than you. Public libraries, the ultimate model of sharing, inclusion, safety, and trust. Second tenet, contemplation, self-exploration, self-renewal while the winter world sleeps. Second tenet inspirations: staring at a Christmas tree at night with all the other lights off, watching snow or rainfall, walking or sitting in nature, by bodies of water, in forests, etc. Observing Nyepi, the Balinese Hindus' 24-hour festival of silence. Contemplation from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. 1a. Concentration on spiritual things as a form of private devotion. B. A state of mystical awareness of God's being. 2. An act of considering with attention, study. 3. The act of regarding steadily. 4. Intention, expectation. Reading and quiet study. Third tenet: gather with loved ones. Reconnect with beloved people who give life meaning. Third tenet inspirations: gathering around a Christmas tree with loved ones. The final scene of It's a Wonderful Life. Gathering to take your turn stirring the Christmas pudding on Stir Up Sunday. Finding ways to come together remotely when you can't gather physically. Fourth tenet: forgiveness, laying down of arms, acceptance, redemption. Fourth tenet inspirations: welcoming someone back to gather at the Christmas tree. The Christmas Truce of 1914, a series of widespread unofficial ceasefires along the Western Front of World War I during Christmas. Keeping a symbol of peace and a reminder of the toll of war, fear, hatred, and ignorance. One example is the empty, rusty scabbard worn by the ghost of Christmas present in Dickens' A Christmas Carol, inspiration provided by Gareth Storm. Ebenezer Scrooge, John McClane, and other popular fictional symbols of redemption. Libby Phelps Alvarez, daughter of Westboro Baptist Church founder Fred Phelps, and other real-life examples of redemption. Fifth tenet: customs and traditions, music and stories, special food and drink, Christmas aromas and textures, twinkle, glisten, sparkle, and decoration. Fifth tenet inspirations: the Christmas tree, popularized by Queen Victoria's husband, Prince Albert. Customs and traditions appealing to the five senses of Christmas. In my childhood, it was putitsa, Slovenian nut roll, listening to the Holly and the Ivy album by the Mormon Tabernacle Choir, watching It's a Wonderful Life on TV, gathering for Christmas dinner and opening presents on Christmas Eve, the scents of turkey, nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice, and the texture of winter coats and gift wrap. During my years of Christmasist awakening in the San Francisco Bay Area, our traditions have grown to include the Great Dickens Christmas Fair at San Francisco's Cal Palace, Golden Girls Live at the Victoria Theater in San Francisco, and the California Revels in Oakland. Sixth tenet: gifts to self, self-care, celebrate yourself. Create a nice moment for yourself at least once a day. Sixth tenet inspirations: wrapping a gift for yourself and putting it under the Christmas tree. Learning your self-love language, whether it's physical touch, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, or words of affirmation. Emulating the North Pole Hall of Records, which sets an excellent example for its residents based on the sign on its front door, "Out for hot chocolate, back at 4 o'clock. Santa's Village, playland, not at the beach." Seventh tenet, wishing joy for all living creatures. Find joy in loving and celebrating others. Practice unconditional positive regard. Seventh tenet inspirations. Watching everyone open their gifts around the Christmas tree. Every room of playland not at the beach, especially Santa's Village. George Bailey yelling, "Yay!" Giving away pairs of snowman specs to friends and strangers. Katie Lang singing "Turn Me Round" to close the 1988 Calgary Olympics. The annual tradition of Golden Girls Live performances at the Victoria Theatre in San Francisco. Eighth tenet, compassion, kindness. Eighth tenet inspirations. Sharing your Christmas tree gathering with someone in need of kindness and compassion. Ruth Coker Burks, the cemetery angel for gay persons dying of AIDS. Inspiration provided by Frank Biafor. Informal networks of volunteers supporting asylum seekers at our borders with food, water, legal aid, and love. Citizens urging their nations to welcome refugees fleeing life-threatening circumstances beyond their control. Seeing unhoused, poor, and incarcerated persons as humans with the same needs and value as anyone else. Shelter-in-place volunteers running errands for vulnerable loved ones and strangers. Minneapolis churches offering free masks, sanitizer, food, and water during Black Lives Matter protests. The gifts of Christmasism: peace, serenity, contentment, joy, merriment, good cheer. The end.